is reported that fire breaks out at the Kgosi Mampuru prison in the staff quarters. But let's check who is of interest in this prison that we can't ignore this information. There's Advocate Teffo, or former Advocate Teffo, because apparently he has been disbarred. Thabo Bester, I'll come back to him, and Bongani Ntanzi. But Bongani Ntanzi was already in the Pretoria High Court, or had they adjourned by then? No, they had. Oh yeah, no, court ended early, so Bongani Ntanzi could have possibly been on his way back to prison. Thabo Bester, we know, is very good at burning things down, putting in fake bodies, and then making his way to Woolworths in Sandton to shop for his, personal needs. Meanwhile, Advocate Teffo apparently was granted bail. So Mzansi, what an interesting turn of events with the fire breaking out. But here's what stands out the most to me. I think I went through about 5 different newspaper articles just to read more details on what happened. But the common denominator is that they are not reporting on the prisoners. They are not reporting on the wardens. They are talking about a cat and how a cat was resuscitated and brought back to life, and this cat has claimed one of its 9 lives. Why does this seem like a distraction to me? Why is the cat the star of the show when we know Thabo Bester has been had before he was recaptured? Thabo Bester had been walking out and about as a free man after a fire broke out, and it was assumed that Thabo Bester had died in that fire, only to discover later after he went to Woolworths and was spotted in Woolworths, and it was reported that, hey man, that's Thabo Bester. You can tell me anything, but that is Thabo Bester. He's sporting longer hair now. That is definitely Thabo Bester, and he's walking out and about with the love of his life, Dr. Nandipha Makudumana. But can I tell you something? Please make sure to like this video. I am going to be bringing you an interesting Thabo Bester story about Dr. Nandipha Makudumana and Thabo Bester and the house that they allegedly rented but weren't renting, but then they owned the house, but then the owner. There's a lot there. There's a lot there. That is a developing story, and I'm going to be bringing it to you shortly. Still working on it in the background, but I digress. Back to the fire. Why are they reporting on a cat? Listen, I'm not saying cats' lives don't matter. I'm saying, can somebody please account for the prisoners? Can we hear that all the prisoners have been accounted for? And Thabo Bester, of interest, is behind the jails, okay? Is behind the prison walls. Has not walked out again in a prison officer uniform. Can we get some kind of confirmation? We also have Advocate Teffo there, and also Bongani Ntanzi. Let me know in the comment section who else is at Kgosi Mampuru that I haven't mentioned. And this is Kgosi Mampuru, the second maximum correctional facility. And I want to underline the word maximum there because, wow, for a maximum prison, this is now the second time where a fire breaks out in a prison facility, and no one is doing any extra, and no one is checking in on this. No one is really verifying if Thabo Bester is still behind. Yes, I'm emphasizing Thabo Bester because we know his track record. And their trial is coming up in June. We want to make sure that trial gets started and we get a verdict and understanding of what exactly happened down there. And of course, justice for Katlego.
Oh, so recent. Choir voices reverberated along the dimly lit hallways of Broadway, the segregation unit of Mangawoon Correctional Centre in Bloemfontein, South Africa. At around 2 o'clock, we were sleeping. Then we heard an explosion. After the explosion, we all woke up, even the other inmates. We could all smell the petrol.
That's a hilarious YouTuber that I found that talks about Thabo Bester. Like, Thabo Bester is international news. I will leave the link to the full video. It's over an hour and 30 minutes long. But it's interesting to watch because you're watching from an outside South Africa perspective. And it's like Thabo Bester gathered people into a ballroom, and people thought, listen, that never gets old for me. I cannot stop laughing He gathered people and they sang happy birthday to him. And they thought he was in New York while he was where? Over there behind the prison jet. Well, maybe he was out for the day, because how was he doing the video? There's just so many questions. That's why I'm so intrigued to hear the trial start and hear more of how he did the things that he did. And who's going to be his legal representation? Because his lawyers and because his legal representation constantly changes. Every time he's got a new appearance in court, he's got a new advocate with him. It's like, who's it going to be today? Anyway, so you know what? That's what I wanted to share about Thabo Bester. And let's go back. You know what? I mean, if all the newspaper articles are reporting on this cat, let's read about the cat. Goodness, I cannot even believe I'm saying that. But I'm going to be reading from an online publication written by Shonisani Chikalange. And it reads, "A fire breaks out at Kgosi Mampuru prison staff quarters." Subtitle, "Lucky cat has to be resuscitated but lives to tell the tale." Listen, it must have been a slow day in the news because, wow. Anyway, it says, a fire broke out in the staff living quarters at Kgosi Mampuru, the second correctional facility in Pretoria, on Thursday. According to the City of Tshwane Emergency Management Services, 2 units were destroyed by the fire, while 4 sustained roof and smoke damage. Oh, this was Thursday, so never mind my comment about Bongani Ntanzi. We saw him physically in the prison, but I still need to see Thabo Bester, okay? We still need to do a head count, and the head count has to include Thabo Bester. Please and thank you. Goes on to say, EMS spokesperson Charles Mabaso said the cause of the fire has not yet been determined, but it is suspected it started in one of the units and rapidly spread to others because of the absence of a firewall between them. Government buildings. I digress. It goes on to say a total of 26 tenants were affected, but the management of the correctional facility indicated alternative accommodation will be arranged for them. Mabaso said 4 women were treated by paramedics for smoke inhalation and transported to the hospital in a stable condition. The day ended with a stroke of luck for a pet. While conducting search operations in one of the units filled with dense smoke, a firefighter discovered a lifeless cat and brought it out of the unit while resuscitating the cat. Like, I'm not going to try and read that word. Okay, let me try. Cardiopulmonary resuscitation. The cat regained consciousness and paramedics administered oxygen treatment to it. Okay, so I don't want to be a cat hater, but I just want to understand. So this paramedic that identified the cat, remember, it says that it was a very, very smoky room. But this paramedic, he's got, 50-50 vision. He was able to see this unconscious cat. And he said to himself, let me just carry this cat out. And when he carried his cat out, this is where it gets confusing for me. So please do share in the comment section your thought. He carried the cat out. And the people who normally deal with human beings were able to assist the cat and resuscitate the cat. Do they have like cat masks for the oxygen mask tank? I don't know. This is a genuine question. How did they do that? How did they know how to resuscitate a cat? Is it the same resuscitating a cat and a human being? Cat does have 9 lives. So how did they know which life they were resuscitating? I don't know. That's it from us today, Mzansi. You know what? It's a Saturday. I hope you have a great Saturday. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you on our next upload.